welcome to the latest video from Born to Explore 4x4. This time we're going up the Mountbuster road up into the mountains into what is some of the most scenic country in New Zealand. It's amazing. But before we know it, we're stopping at these old historic huts at the start of the track. Just check them out. Well, these huts mark the start of our journey. From here we're going up past the Tailings Hut, round through Ida Valley Hut, and then we're going to come down one of the spurs to behind Falls Dam, and then up to the old homestead campground, and then to St. Bathans. You know you're on an adventure as soon as you pop your way through that first real creek crossing. Now the old Jeep I got with me today, I'm calling it the $1,200 Jeep because, well, that's about what it cost us, and just before this trip we had to put in a new head gasket and bodge up the radiator, so hopefully it makes this trip. And Craig's coming along with his $1,400 Bighorn that he's slowly been working on and modifying. G'day guys, just check out that cracking view behind me. Isn't that amazing? Well, we're up Mountbuster today and we're taking the overheating Jeep. So hopefully we'll make it. There may be a reason I'm stopped here to cool it down, maybe not. Hopefully we don't have to stop too many times to cool it down this trip. We'll see what happens. Call it the four-headed monster because it's got four heads and it's known for blowing heat gasket. So my best to patch it up and see what happens. But just check out that view. Isn't that amazing? This is going to be one epic trip, guys. Come along and see for the ride. Well, after that short Jeep stop, we come across this on top of the first saddle, and it is just one of the most amazing places you can go for all driving. Check it out. Well guys, how awesome is this? Mountbuster. Sorry about the wind noise, I can't do much about that. But check it out, how epic is this place? Oh look guys, so you've got to be on your top of your to-do list. If you're a four-wheel driver, come out here to Mountbuster and have a look. It is amazing! Just check it out, the trucks are dirty, we're having an absolute blast. The $1,200 Jeep only overheated once. I mean, we're doing alright so far, and this place, oh just look at it. It is amazing! Come on, you can get out here and see it for yourself. Well, as fun as it is checking out the Mountbuster tailings, it's time to continue on our way over the saddle and drop into the next valley. continue on with this adventure. Well, before we know it, we're at the Tailings Hut. It's quite a cool hut to stay in and quite a beautiful part of the country. From here we start one of our first steep climbs up the next saddle. Well, g'day guys. So far this has been one epic trip. The budget Jeep here is doing alright. So far it's only overheated once. Apart from that, it's doing really well. So we've just been coming along through the valley and it's been amazing. But now we got this fun bit of track to contend with. It's steep, it's off camber, it's rocky, it's shaly, little switchbacks all through it. So we're going to have a ton of fun, Craig and the Bighorn and me and the cheap Jeep, and we'll see what happens. But this is going to be a ton of fun, guys, it really is. I've done it before, it was amazing fun. And what beautiful country, guys, just look around. It's just epic, just check out that view. Just amazing. Guys, get yourself a four-wheel drive, even if it's like this $1,400 Jeep, come out and have some fun. Well, once you make the descent down the saddle, you come across this really picturesque wee river running through the mountains here, and this cool suspension bridge. It really is amazing country here, just check it out. Well, after having a look at the suspension bridge, we're back on the track and we start to make a steep climb back over the saddle on top of the mountain range again. And you guessed it, the Jeep is running hot again. It gets about 3/4 of the way up and she starts to run just a little bit hot. Well, the radio is completely shot in that, and well, the only thing keeping the coolant in there at the moment is a bunch of epoxy that I stuck in there. So before it does too many more trips, it's going to have that radiator fixed. Well guys, check it out. Isn't this amazing? This big country up here, it really is. Just check it out. It's man, it's amazing to be up here. It's great. And look, both have made it. The $1,200 Jeep and the $1,400 Bighorn. You know, both these trucks cost less than $2,000, and here they are, one of the highest tracks in the country. Isn't that phenomenal? I mean, okay, I've had to stop a couple of times to cool the Jeep down a little bit, but it's doing it. And well, just check out that view. It's just amazing. Just wow, you can see Mount Cook over there and things. It's just amazing. We're going to carry on up over to Ida Valley Hut for the night, and yeah, hopefully we can get a nice warm fire because it is cold up here, and hopefully we can see a glimpse of the aurora and get some photos of the stars tonight. So this has been an epic trip and it's going to be an epic night. But anyway, that sun's setting, so we better crack on. Well, before long we're at the famous Ida Valley Hut. Now, there's a credible story behind how this hut got up here, guys. I suggest you look it up one day because it's absolutely amazing how they got this thing up here. But there's a few people camping here this time and we want to do some nighttime photography. So we're going to carry on up the road to our next spot. Well guys, we're here, we're at camp for the night. Just check out that, we're at dusk and what a beautiful time to be here. Just check out that haze of sun sitting across the horizon there, it's amazing. $1 million views guys, it's amazing. But it's cold, it is cold. I'm freezing, I'm hungry, I'm going to go get some dinner. But the $1,200 Jeep, it made it. Instead of the $1,400 big one. So that's just, it's amazing. Amazing drive, amazing day, amazing country. It's huge up here and just check out those mountains and that sunrise causing all that haze. I mean, man, it's amazing. Look, I'm going to go get ready and I'll leave you to enjoy the view for a minute. Just check out how amazing it is. Man, what an amazing night to be up here. Well, with the sun well and truly set and the moon high in the sky and dinner out of the way, it's time to get on with some nighttime photography. Man, did we get some nice shots. One cold night, it really was. It's morning now, about 7:30, and everything's frozen. Trucks are frozen, I'm frozen. I put 2 extra layers on in the middle of the night once the old fire ran out. It was blistering cold. I hate to think how cold it actually was, but nah, sun's just coming up over the horizon. Looks absolutely amazing, and we're gonna get some coffee into us and hit the tracks again. But man, it's still epic. It just looks amazing, this country. Just seeing the sun coming over that mountain rise is just really is amazing. It makes for some awesome photography. Just beautiful country. Just to see the tussocks light up that early morning orange sun, just amazing. Even if it is blistering cold. Well, this Jeep really doesn't like the cold. This has got the 2.5 diesel with 4 heads, a head per cylinder on this engine. Now just before this trip I replaced the head gasket, but it's becoming pretty obvious that some of the glow plugs aren't working. She's not firing on all cylinders. Now, while I was up there, it got down to about -6 overnight, so that truck was properly cold. And we cranked, I played around with the throttle, glowed it a dozen times. Didn't matter. I had no starting fluid, and we cranked until the battery started getting down. And even on the jumper leads, with a little bit of extra kick, still would not start. Since then, I've had a look and discovered that 2 of the glow plugs had it. And I've also noticed something weird. It's getting air in the fuel system before the pump. So I've got to figure out where it's sucking air from. But it was nothing for it. We had to crash start it to get it going for the day. The good old Bighorn though, starts up straight away. Oh mate, time for breakfast. Craig's put a bit of a feast on for me. Bacon, sausages, bit of egg. It's going to go down quite a treat. Oh, look at that. It was a bit of a cold night last night, I can tell you. This morning the Jeep she would not start. Got down to about -6 or something. Everything's frozen. So not all the glow plugs can be working on the Jeep, and just discovered it's got low fuel pressure on one injector too, which is a little bit suspicious. So I'm still waking up, as you can tell. She's smoking a little bit too, but hey, what can you expect? The thing's done nearly 300,000 Ks and it's had a bit of a workout. I'm going to tuck into this now. Oh, bacon. Sorry about the wind, just kicked up, can't do anything about that. But man, this is some wild barren country. I mean, that stony stuff here, it's loose under the wheels. It's like being on another planet, it really is. Just see all that cloud, we've just come out of it. And man, just look at it rolling over the hills there like a waterfall. Just amazing. Down there's Falls Dam, which is where we're heading. So we're going to drive down the spur. So where we're going next, the young fella actually rolled his truck. So it's a steep rolling track, a lot of loose rock, loose under the wheels, but look, we're used to it, so we're going to slowly idle down on the, doing our best to keep our engine brakes going, and yeah, it's going to be fun. But just check out this, mate, it's epic country. I mean, I just can't stop smiling and saying that, but it really is. I mean, just look at that, just amazing. Well guys, amazing bit of steep country at the moment we're in. See, we're on all this loose, bouldery sort of rock here, and right where I'm standing, earlier this year a guy actually was trying to avoid a patch of snow. It was built up in the hill here. He came along this edge of this loose rock, and yeah, he went for a ride down there, mate. Gosh, if I he's lucky that the truck stopped where it did and didn't roll all the way down the valley. Crazy, but it's just one of those things. You can never be too careful when you're up on these sort of tracks and this sort of loose stuff. You got to take your time, stick on the track, stay well away from the edge because it's loose and it will roll under your wheels if you're not careful. I mean, no, I wouldn't want to be in that vehicle, mate. Just check this out. I'm going to spin the camera a bit more. Oh, look at that. It's all loose rock. Look how loose that is. Man, I wouldn't want to put a wheel on the edge of that. And yeah, no, he did. Stop at the windscreen down there, which I'll zoom in for you. Yeah, nasty. He just stopped down there in a little bit of a rise and hollow. Very, very lucky. Could have kept going all the way down to the valley. Yeah, no, not nice. So yeah, poor bloke. Luckily he got away from that accident unharmed, but yeah, that's one wild ride I'd never want to be on. We're going to carry on down the track, but man, some epic country. Woo. Well, on those steep tracks it didn't take us long to descend back down to 2,000 feet, where we start to make our way around behind Falls Dam on the back roads as we head towards Homestead Campground. Well, it's time for me and Craig to split ways. I'm going to carry on up the road a bit further to St Bathans Lake and the St Bathans Morning Town. Now, legend has it that this town is apparently haunted. Well guys, isn't that amazing spot behind me? We've finally made it down to old St Bathans. So me and Craig split the wee ways back at the junction. He's headed home. We had quite a rough night up on the mountain last night. It was -6 and yeah, it was bitterly cold in the hut where we were. We might as well have been sleeping outside, but no, look at that. Fantastic day. Just check out St Sebastian's Lake there. Beautiful wee spot. I'm going to carry on and take the overheating Jeep up and maybe do a Homer Hill run and things like that. We'll go for a bit of a tiki tour around and have a bit of a look, but amazing spot. We've met a lot of nice people this weekend out on the tracks and things, which has been awesome, and some amazing scenery, really is. I'm going to carry on up the road there and see if I can't see a few more bits and pieces before I head home for the night, but I'll let you just take in that view behind me. Well, I've jumped back in the overheating Jeep and carried on down the road to have a look at Falls Dam. Be interesting to see what the water level is like at this time of year. It's been pretty dry, but just check out that scenery. Falls Dam is an amazing lake. If you come here on the right day, the reflection you can get off the mountains is just incredible. But guys, my fuel tank's running low and the clutch isn't quite cooperating on the Jeep anymore, so I think it's time to head home, but not before taking one of my famous shortcuts on the way. Till next time guys, see you there.